Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 9 of my TEW series for TEW 2016. Now, today's show is going to be a pretty decent one, I would say. I know I kind of say that every episode, but we've got a strong 8-man tag match for the main event tonight, and I think it should hopefully pull, at a minimum, I would say a B+, so I'm pretty happy with that. We've also got a couple of other good matches on the card, and we're going to start a new storyline tonight as well, which I think it's going to be pretty beneficial going into the pay-per-view. Of course, we've only got one more TV show after this one before the next pay-per-view, which is War to Settle the Score. So we want to get a couple more matches ready for that card. Anyway, kick things off with the pre-show match, getting a 78B. Probably should have been on the main card. I'm not really using Wolf Hawkins, and it's a bit of a problem. It's definitely a bit of a problem because I'm pretty sure he's our best wrestler that we have on the roster at the moment. Anyway, in a pre-show bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, Wolf Hawkins, Mark Speed, and Kirk Jamison defeated Mighty Mo, Elliot Thomas, and Bulldozer Brandon Smith in 9:53 when Wolf Hawkins defeated Elliot Thomas by pinfall with the full moon rising. As you'd expect, Wolf was head and shoulders above everybody else. A couple of work improvements. Wolf Hawkins in performance and Mark Speed in performance there as well. Alrighty. So we kick the show off with an 82B rated angle. And here we have Eddie Peak. And he says in his promo that he's tired of being overlooked. Of course, last week he was in the Fatal 4-Way number 1 contenders match. He was about to win it. And then he says that, Joshua Taylor got extremely lucky, took advantage of a very weak Benny Benson. And basically, he wants a big match at the next pay-per-view. It's in, 2 weeks' time. He doesn't have a match yet. He wants, a decent opponent. And he's basically saying that he doesn't want to verse Benny Benson at the pay-per-view. But what's going to happen is, we'll go to the next match, which is his match against an enhancement talent. So it goes to show, sort of playing into that whole promo. Pretty good match, to be fair. 75B-. In a bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, Eddie Peak defeated Mr. Lucha 3 in 10:26 by pinfall with a Peak of the Devil. Excuse me. No worker improvements. But what we're going to do here is, for TV next week, we're going to book in another one-on-one. And it's going to be Eddie Peak taking on Benny Benson. And basically, if Eddie Peak wins this match next week on TV in the Go Home show, he will get a big opponent for the War to Settle the Score. So yeah, looking forward to sort of continuing and building this storyline going forward. We then go into an 85B+ Menace promo. As you can see, they're slowly starting to get over, which is good. But the big problem with the Behemoths is the fact that they're still not anywhere near good enough in the ring. They do need a lot more time. I would say they need another 3 months. I would say 5 months in total, just to get them up to sort of a mid-level, like an average level. Because at the moment they're below average, if I'm being honest. Good promo though. We then have a 2-on-1 handicap match, of course. The Behemoths taking on Darrell Devine. He basically decided to be the brave man. Of course, they took out his tag team partner, Chance Fortune, last week. And he wanted a bit of revenge. However, handicap match against, 2 super heavyweights. Probably not the best or the brightest idea. 67C+ for this one. In a decent match, the Behemoths defeated Darrell Devine in a handicap match in 7:46 when Titan defeated Darrell Devine by pinfall with a Titanic chokeslam. And as you'd expect, Darrell Devine was the much better wrestler in ring compared to these two. And he's also improving in performance skills, so another little bonus there. We then go into a 52D+. Pretty weak angle, to be honest, but it is, I guess, Matt Hocking. He's not really very over. And basically, Matt Hawkins says that Mark Speed better not take him too lightly. Of course, referring to Speed's promo from last week, saying that, he was essentially the weak link in the match and that he got very lucky. But he's saying don't take him lightly or else he will lose his international title. Good stuff. It plays into the storyline quite well, but unfortunately the rating doesn't really match what we're sort of trying to do with the mid-card title. His match against Rudy Velasquez gets a 56 C-, which is pretty bad considering Rudy's not very over, but he's a really good worker. And Matt Hocking's not too bad either. I would say he's sort of an average level in terms of mid-carders. Anyway, in About That Subpar Wrestling Little Heat, Matt Hocking defeated Rudy Velasquez in 8-13 by pinfall with a Hock shock. During the match, we also had Mark Speed run in and attack Hocking. So there we go. Trying to cost Matt the match there. We then go straight into another bit of a throwaway tag team match. Just basically trying to get both of these teams onto the TV so they can gain a bit of overness. 66 C+ for this one. About That Decent Wrestling but Little Heat, The Elite, of course. They've been somewhat jobberish since the start of the series. Defeated the new jobber team, the Dynamite Express, in 10-18 when Nate Johnson defeated Sid Collier by pinfall with an elitism. And then, as you'd expect, the Elite, of course, have good chemistry. And we also have Cameron Jones improving in performance skills. We then go into a 63C rated angle. Basically, Jay Cord, Greg Gage, New Legacy, they come out and they challenge any team in the locker room to see if they can match up against the future legends. Essentially referring to themselves. No worker improvements on that angle. And the New Wave answer the call. One of the most, they are the most experienced tag team in TCW at the moment. 74 B- match. And About That had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. The New Wave defeated New Legacy in 1944 when Scout defeated Jay Cord by submission with a special force. Pretty good match though. I'm pretty happy with that. We also have both members of the New Wave improving in performance skills at the ripe age of 37. Alright, that's a good angle. A 94A for the face team of our 8-man tag main event. Basically, it's the good guys, referring to their specific storylines and stuff like that. Of course, we have Joshua Taylor, Rocky Golden, Sammy Back, and RDJ there. Cutting a promo. Apparently, Joshua Taylor performed poorly, and the commentary team was pretty weak. But we also have Joshua Taylor developing better performance skills from this angle as well. So I guess in a way, it's kind of a good thing. The match itself does indeed get the 83 B+ that I was expecting. I thought it might be a little bit higher, because that's only just a B+. But, it's pretty good nonetheless. In a good match, Joshua Taylor, Rocky Golden, Sammy Back, and Ricky Dale Johnson defeated Aaron Andrews, Troy Tornado, Brian Vesey, and American Buffalo in 25 minutes and 1 second, when Joshua Taylor defeated Troy Tornado by submission with a butterfly lock. And there we go. 3 storylines advanced. One of them, unfortunately, lost heat, but that's okay. Not too bad. Overall show rating for our second last show of the month in terms of TV gets a 72 B-. Again, increasing our popularity in Canada, but losing us popularity in America. Essentially because of the production values. I'm sure it would be much higher. It would definitely be a B, in my opinion, if we weren't getting the penalties there from the production values. So a little bit unfortunate that that's still happening. But like I've said, we have to drop down a cult. There's no real way that we're gonna stay national unless we invest a lot of money, and we only have 5 million, so we don't really have the money to be trying to compete with national companies, especially US Pro being so rich and just they're so dominant with their TV deal, of course, on their network. So that's going to be very hard to do. We need to drop down a cult, and like I said, we need to build up the next generation As you can see, we have gone from a 77B and we've dropped down to 76B minus. So I'm assuming that these are going to go down probably within another point of popularity if we lose some. So a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. It sort of needs to happen, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, if we look at the titles, just give you a little overview of the Prestige. 62C for the International. I'm pretty sure that's the same. We then got the World Heavyweight, which I believe was a 91A when we first started the game. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that did drop down a little bit with that match at the last pay-per-view. And then, of course, we haven't actually defended the World Tag Team titles yet. So they're still at 70C+. Quick little look at the teams here. Obviously, New Legacy slowly starting to build up their experience. Similar with the Behemoths there as well. Then, of course, we've got a couple of teams with 100A star. Dynamite Express are slowly going to creep up there as well. The Elite are pretty bad, but of course, they've already got the really good chemistry between them. And then, of course, Latino Kings and the New Wave, both at 100A star tag team experience. Anyways, guys, that's going to do us for this episode. You can drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel as well. And if you hit the notification bell and turn on notifications, you should be kept up to date with this series coming out in the future. Apart from that, guys, take it easy and goodbye.